Greetings, YouTubers. It's your favorite pastor. Hopefully the one you're going to learn to love, Pastor Steve, with a quick episode of current Christian commentary and news. Folks, the news is happening so fast, I literally cannot keep up with it. But, you know, truth is normally stranger than fiction. Did you ever hear that before? You're not going to believe this one, folks. The Cajun Navy, as I told you in my last video, these are just ordinary citizens who have who got in their boats during the Louisiana flood. And by the way, it's possible that this damage from this flood is going to exceed that of Hurricane Katrina. Now, they won't have the stadium full of people, and so it's a little less dramatic, but it's getting zero, for all intents and purposes, zero coverage in the mainstream media, and I wonder why. It doesn't fit the paradigm. There's no George Bush to blame. There's no fingers to point. In this case, Donald Trump went down there and got very little press coverage. And, of course, the whole time our president, Barack Hussein Obama, was golfing.
Well, isn't that special?
At any rate, here we go. A lawmaker, a state legislator in the Louisiana State House is now recommending that, well, you know what? Why should I tell you? I'm just going to show you. Here we go. Check it out for yourself.
Samaritans who rescued a countless number of people during the flooding are coming
out after a state lawmaker announced that he wants government regulations on future actions. Meg Ferris joins us with why many are pushing back. A lot of people have an opinion on this one.
They absolutely do, all over social media. Well, members of the Cajun Navy are being interviewed by media around the country, but that attention is nowhere near the pushback they're talking about with each other when it comes to possibly breaking the law if they save lives again. It didn't matter if it was during the day or night. People with boats took it upon themselves to save strangers, hundreds upon hundreds of them, even when their own property was flooding. The Facebook community dubbed them the Cajun Navy.
And for the most part, these are people that are not going to wait for assistance. I mean, they're doers.
Dustin Cluett of St. Armand got his pleasure skiff and with others cleared out entire neighborhoods underwater.
At one time in my boat, I had a guy I dropped off at a Buddhist temple. I had a black guy and I had a Mexican guy. And when we dropped them all off, everybody hugged, high-fived, loved on each other, and sent them on their very way.
Did you hear that? Training, licensing. Oh my. This is for real, folks. This is how far. Ronald Reagan said it best. There it is up on the screen. The biggest lie ever told was, we are here. Well, it's really the second biggest lie. And that first one is the checks in the mail. But we are here from the government, and we are here to help. Unbelievable. But let's continue with this story, shall we?
And now he and members of the Cajun Navy are speaking out against talk of government regulation. Republican State Senator Jonathan Perry of the Vermilion-Lafayette area is working on legislation that could require training, certificates, and a permit fee to allow these good Samaritans to get past law enforcement into devastated areas.
Did you hear that? Training, licensing. Oh my. This is for real, folks. This is how far. Ronald Reagan said it best. There it is up on the screen. The biggest lie ever told was, we are here. Well, it's really the second biggest lie. And that first one is the checks in the mail. But we are here from the government, and we are here to help. Unbelievable. But let's continue with this story, shall we?
He told a radio station, quote, they don't want the liability of someone going out to rescue someone and then not being able to find them. And secondly, there's a cost.
How can you regulate people helping people? That doesn't make sense to me.
A political blog, thehayride.com, is speaking out against regulation.
And we'll never know how many people got rescued, right? Because there were no bureaucrats with clipboards like marking down how many it was. They just went and did it. The fact that Jonathan Perry is a Republican, right? It's like, hey, you ran on small government. Now you want to regulate the Cajun Navy. What are you doing?
And Senator Perry did not return our phone calls for comment. Now, members of the Cajun Navy say they know the flooded areas better than the official rescuers who came in from out of town. And they say they did things officials would not have been allowed to do to save lives. And they say they're not opposed to taking a rescue safety class. They just think it should be in the private sector and not all the red tape.
Wow, this is only going to blow up even more on social media. Thanks very much, Meg.
Well, like I said, you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it for yourself. Folks, as the man said, this house is sure gone crazy.
This house is sure gone crazy.
This guy, I'm sure this legislator thinks he's doing the right thing. I just don't get it. You need a license to help your neighbor. You know what? Leave me the comments. Hey, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. God's best to you. And look, it really is the end of the world as we know it. But you know what? God's best to you and yours. I hope you are saved. I hope you know Jesus. And if you don't, man, I'm going to tell you something. Just call upon the name of the Lord. Whosoever calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. God's best to you and yours. We'll see you next time.